have to be our life. This life been given to us by them low-life niggas you call black leaders.
One West, UPK, 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 UPK. One West, motherfucking UPK, 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 UPK. Warfare every motherfucking day. UPK, 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 UPK. One West, motherfucking UPK, 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 UPK. Warfare every motherfucking day.
I don't fuck with the fake, never been on a date. Why these niggas so gay? I don't eat food cake. All I eat is steak, chicken and grapes. Really like an 8, don't need no weights. UPK push at the bar. Hey, get a bitch wetter than a lake. Hey, open my eye, catch a case. I'll break a bitch nigga face. Hey, one West the only way. Hey, all eyes on UPK. Hey, take round A. Fuck what they say. Now we don't play. Chopper my spray. Beat him with the blade. Now the nigga on the fucking page. See sideways. Hey, we know gonna drop like this. Like one dead bitch. We hot like this. Like UPK use the fucking block like this. Like that's what the Lord can't stop this shit. Those ain't no bitch up in sight. All my niggas prepared to die. World War III, word on fire. Waiting on the Lord to crack the sky. In them chairs swing that. Mommy nothing but them UPK sound on West.
UPK, 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 UPK. One West, motherfucking UPK, 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 UPK. Warfare every motherfucking day. UPK, 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 UPK. One West, motherfucking UPK, 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 UPK. Warfare every motherfucking day. I'm gonna set your shit off. I'm a black man. Slap beef, but I get my foot the back end. You better hope that I don't get orders from captains to take ground, bitch. I'm ready for action. You already know what I gotta say. If you ain't UPK, put you in a goddamn way. I was born in a battlefield and a battlefield. I'll be ready for this war shit every day. World War III, would you hurry up, please? So I can put my enemies on their knees and make them beg me. But no mercy from me. You didn't get love to the birds and the bees and the trees. But what the fuck do you mean? The only way we can have peace is to hear you scream. Priests and the prophets of the king. The stories of the book of the black God at the time of the sweet dream. I'm thinking I was shot, Mashiach, the king of all kings, ruler of all things. Hell is what we bring. Destruction of Babylon, destroying everything. With towards the means on a whole nother level you ain't ever seen. Woman, UPK team, 144, you know what I mean. One West, nigga.
West, UPK,
So-called Christian pastors and deacons, that's why your churches is failing. Because you've been lying. Oh, here's why it's coming out the truth. That's all. Read that again. Yeah. What? Agreement. Hey, the temple of God with idols. What agreement is there in the temple of the Bible with wicked false gods?
UPK, UPK.
What agreement is a Bible in the temple has to do with the day of Christmas tree? Where's that agreement at? How did they even make sense to come together? That's right. But we follow the custom like it's a God-given high holy day. Where's the agreement on that? Right. The elves with the Bible. Right. The Keebler elves. Right. And then you got the kids making cookies for Santa Claus. You know what you're doing? You are cooking, you're making a burnt offering to a damn idol. Right. You damn heathen. Following damn heathen ways. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you are the special people of the Lord. That's right. Stop following these heathen customs. That's right.
And why hasn't your pastor, who has the Bible in the church, why hasn't he showed you this? Because the world does not want it to be revealed that black people
I want a motherfucking truth, never lose. Ain't one West, nigga, I don't know you. Back to the shit, didn't come to the school. Bitch ass nigga better move. Got a fucking job to do. Tryna raise up all the Jews, all the tribes. Keeping the truth for God. Truth fat nigga never lie. Stop. When you see the misses in the sky, one West, UPK for the other side. I'll set the church on fire. And lie to the children of God. Bitch ass niggas, you proud. How you on a jet right now? Taking your check right now. How you having sex with your wives? UPK don't fuck with your kind. Bitch ass nigga take grind. Home with a motherfucking truth. Home with a motherfucking truth. Home with a motherfucking truth. UPK One West. Home with a motherfucking truth. Home with a motherfucking truth. Home with a motherfucking truth. Home of the motherfucking truth. UPK 1 West. Home of the motherfucking truth.
All our children gonna end up to be young, feminine faggots that don't care about the murder of their own people. This black man just said, show me that sign. No, you let me the sign. Let me the sign. I gotta tell you, this brother right here just said,
These niggas fake, these niggas gay, not in the UPK. Over it like every day. I'ma start chopping your face, don't play. World War III, that SHALAM day. I don't give a fuck if you hate. Hit him with the blade. One west bitch till I'm dead. Wine and bread, one scarf from my head. UPK bitch, when I'm talking to fed. All black, no purple. Fake ass nigga be looking like turtles. I.U.I.C.K ain't fucking with the pre-pop bitch and king. My niggas mean, rally, straight, beats. UPK made me. Now I'm waiting on Hebrew Academy. So come back. Home of the motherfucking truth. Home of the motherfucking truth. Home of the motherfucking truth. UPK 1 West. Home of the motherfucking truth. 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 UPK 1 West. Home of the motherfucking truth.
The flame, from the power of the flame of the Lord, man, no missiles, no nuclear destruction. You can't outrun no nuclear missile, white man. You can't outrun no nuclear missile. All you can do is burn.
Home of the motherfucking truth. Home of the motherfucking truth. Home of the motherfucking truth. UPK 1 West. Home of the motherfucking truth. 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 UPK 1 West. Home of the motherfucking truth.
One West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And the Commander General YAHANNA. The only authorized acronym. Look, Christianity, the home for white supremacists. The real Jews, black. Jesus Christ was a nigga. We scholars in the scriptures. Fuck your false doctrine. I'm a gangster, I can't go to church, they false prophets. I face the east and pray towards the sun. Fuck your peace and I don't need your love. I'm gonna have slaves when the kingdom come. I see my adversaries teaming up, but they ain't ready for war. And if they is, we gon' bring it to them. Thumb through the pages, reading Obadiah. Look, white man the devil, he for sure a liar. Can't trust the snake, Jesus called them vipers. How you love everybody when we the ones dying? I'm bloodthirsty, pray my enemies drop dead. Don't do nothing God say, but won't forgiveness for they sins. Niggas hypocrites, I just want slaughter and revenge. A sword and a crown to give my kids. Home of the truth, you ain't in this house. I was lost in the world, but I get it now. I got niggas sitting down who ain't getting out. You ain't ready for a baby, but don't kill your child. Home of the truth, you ain't in this house. I was lost in the world, but I get it now. I got niggas sitting down who ain't getting out. You ain't ready for a baby, but don't kill your child. And I can never be a Muslim cause they worship rocks. If you don't serve the Most High, then you curse by God. Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shabbarakatah. Kwam Yashala, shield the king, thou would die. I got wisdom from the prophets, I ain't without. I'm in the belly of the beast, trying to make it out. I know the truth, so I can't transgress the law. For a long time, was a rebel without a cause. I was called by the Lord. I feel like the poor man when the dog licked his swords. They ain't from my neighborhood, but on all the stores. A church on every corner and my niggas still destroyed. We living in a time where your murder get recorded. Men of the Lord still prisoners of war. I got a Glock, but brotherhood the real weapon. You practice Kemet at my yacht, but it's still pagan. Home of the truth, you ain't in this house. I was lost in the world, but I get it now. I got niggas sitting down who ain't getting out. You ain't ready for a baby, but don't kill your child. Home of the truth, you ain't in this house. I was lost in the world, but I get it now. I got niggas sitting down who ain't getting out. You ain't ready for a baby, but don't kill your child.
Shalom, Hebrew. What's my phone? Okay. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, Jamaica. Started at 1 West, 153, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Yeah, the rain got me messed up. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K is run today by Commanding General YAHANNA, the man with the rank, the authority, the know-how to lead over God's people, to lead over God's flock. I want to say Yabashim Yahushai Barakatah to the brothers, Yahweh Shema Elatan Basham Yahushai to the sisters. Welcome to our Wednesday evening law class. Shalom, warrior.
Shalom, sir. Yabashim Yahushai Barakatah.
Yabashim Yahushai Barakatah. All right, today now, we always have, from the days of the Bible, we always have heathens, always, every captivity. As a matter of fact, in and out of captivity, even when we're not in captivity, you have heathens who just run them out against the Most High's people. Yeah, we know for some people it's out of jealousy, and for some, the matter of fact, life is just bad mind. We don't really go in our next man. There's no record of us going in our next man kingdom to run them out. We were sent to prophesy in other kingdoms, like I think it was Jeremiah in Babylon, right? But heathens always find it necessary when they want to mash up the Most High's people and to destroy our nation. They always see it necessary to run their mouth against us. For what reason? Well, like I said, they want to destroy us or just out of grudge.
Right.
In the time of Hezekiah, there was no way different. Right? We had heathens who run their, as a matter of fact, that kingdom that run their mouth against the Most High's people, and the Most High had to put them in their place. That kingdom is no more really, the kingdom of Assyria. Who can tell me when Assyria became no more a kingdom? When did that happen?
So, okay, sir. I think you tell me, say, after World War II.
Yeah, 19 something.
Gone.
So long it lasts?
Gone.
The Most I had to do it that way because Assyria, even though you see the northern kingdom was around this side, they were still trading and doing and they were still in league with the Assyrians, Yeah. If you notice, if you can Google some pictures of the Assyrians, and you see how them shot and look like the Mexicans.
God, yeah.
Because just like how most of us look like from the southern kingdom, look like the oppressor, today's oppressor. The same way them look like for them oppressor.
God.
And who was the ones over them? The Assyrians. All right, tell me to 2 Kings chapter 18.
Another one gun. Canada one can. This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 18, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the 3rd year of Hoshea, son of Elah, king of Israel, that Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, king of Judah, began to reign.
Continue.
Canada one can, verse 2. 25 years old was he when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name also was Abi, the daughter of Zachariah.
Now, Hezekiah was one of the interesting kings that sat on our throne, like David. He was a king that was blameless, but still do something wrong. The only king that was blameless and did nothing wrong was Christ.
Right.
But you know, all the other kings, they've even in Hezekiah did what the Most High wanted him to do. All right, read on.
Canada one can. Verse 3. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that David his father did.
Right. So this man, Hezekiah, did just like David. Meaning, what did David do? David, not the wickedness that David did. This is alluding to. You know. This is talking about David's, what's the word you want to use? Obedience to the Most High.
God.
David's love and obedience to God. That's what this is alluding to. So Hezekiah wasn't a man who really kill other men for them wife. Nah, he didn't do that. And he didn't, while David did again. You know, the various sins that David did, that Hezekiah did do those. However, read on.
Canada one can. Verse 4. He removed the high places and broke the images and cut down the groves and break in pieces the brazen serpent that Moses had made. For unto those days the children of Israel did burn incense to it, and he called it Nehushtan.
You know, every time I hear this part of the story, I have to laugh. You know, when the Moses told Moses to wrap that brazen image of the serpent around a pole and to put it in the middle of the camp, the people started worshiping the serpent, the image. And that's the name they call it. That was like a new god in Israel now, you know, Nehushtan.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. These, as a matter of fact, you know, the Northern Kingdom, they have a serpent god, you know, with a similar name, you know. I think the Mexicans, when they were, which one of them was the Maya?
Yeah, the Mexicans.
Yeah, man. When they build a pyramid and the serpent's head, and at certain time of the year, it's supposed to come in line with some things, and they bow down to it and they look forward towards that, and they worship the various equinoxes. We didn't call that serpent, they call that serpent again. It's a name similar to this, you know. But each time that I hear this thing, you know, what our people did. But and then just looking back, but those days, people are no much different today in bowing themselves to false god. But back those days, it was more brazen. But Hezekiah now, you know, break up that. He said, nah, man, this Nehushtan thing and this high places, because all the kings before, the kings after David, including Solomon, and the ones before Hezekiah, they all uphold the high places. But you know, Hezekiah remove it. Verse 5.
Another one can, verse 5. He trusted in the Lord God of Israel, so that after him, Slovakia, sir, I call a come in from my phone, I forgot anything.
All right.
So that after him was none like him among all the kings of Judah, nor any that were before him.
All right. You're reading on the phone?
Can, sir.
You're using the broadcasting from the laptop, though.
Can, sir.
All right. You can put this Bible on the laptop, you know.
Okay,
and it would negate, you know, you're getting a call, you know, interrupt your streaming or your reading, I should say.
Yeah, man.
All right. So Hezekiah was one that trusts totally in the Lord God of in our God, in Lord God of Israel. So that after him there was none like him among all the kings of Judah. And there is none like him before. So Hezekiah was one which became like a pillar to the Israelites at the time. He did all the things that, you know, the altars and so on. He did all the things that the Most High wanted us to do. So much so that, you know, whenever you're worshiping God, the true God of Israel, you know, as an Israelite, why the nations always tend to come up against you.
Right.
Yeah. Even in today's society, I mean, we decide, you know, shake off them Edens, yeah, and go back to our true way of worshiping the most, our God. Hence, we have the I.S.U.P.K. And what did the oppressor do? Oh, 8 group. As a matter of fact, is there any other Hebrew Israelite group that is listed on the Southern Poverty Law, Southern Poverty, what's it not as a 8 group? You know of any such thing?
Slovakia, no, sir, I don't know.
I don't know you have any other group that is listed, but they have us listed. Yeah. Because maybe they realize that, you know, these are really the true prophet of the Most High.
Right.
And, you know, the false prophets never get punished, you know,
right.
by the nations, you know. It's always a true prophet. Like Jeremiah. Throw Jeremiah in a slime pit. Stone Stephen. The system never liked Christ. But the system did like the scribes and the Pharisees. But the system didn't like Christ.
Right.
So, you know, we decide to be in the truth. We don't really expect the system to like us. But, you know, we have to stand for our God, you know.
Right.
As you know, as he said, we won't be ashamed nor confounded. We leave that shame and confoundment for the heathens. Read on.
Another one can. Another one can, verse 6. For he clave to the Lord and departed not from following him, but kept his commandments, which the Lord commanded Moses.
Right. So he did the Lord's commandments, meaning his judgment as a king was according to God's laws. he didn't make up his own laws like what the northern kingdom would have done. You know, the judge when they go to idolatry, you know, the judgment of the king now becomes according to that idolatrous god that they are worshiping. So you have a case that have to go before the king. The judgment that the king is going to hand down is going to say according to such and such god. You know, he might not say it out to you, but his judgment is going to be according to. Just like when they were Baal worshiping, when they were in Baal worshiping, the judgments were according to the house of Baal. But Hezekiah now worshiping and serving the Most High God of Israel, his judgments was according to God's commandment. That is why they say now he kept the commandments of the Most High. Not for himself, but as a king, meaning that he judged over the people according to the commandments of the king. Meaning, no LGBT was among his kingdom.
Right.
Right? They would have been put to death. That's simply what it is telling you. There was no homosexuals. There was no adulterers. Right? What the lady call it, them side man again. Side piece.
Side Bonaman.
Right. There was no Bonaman. Bonaman would get burned with some stones.
Right.
Yeah. Both him and the woman. So his judgment was according to God's law. Continue.
Another one, verse 7. And the Lord was with him, and he prospered whithersoever he went forth, and he rebelled against the king of Assyria and served him.
Not.
Salakia, served him not. Salakia.
Right. So in rebelling against the king of Assyria, meaning that he was not following what the Assyrians were the mighty ones at the time. Like today, if say UPK was to have a government of its own, we would have seen as rebelling against America. Yeah. What are the things America want every country to do now? They want you to be more open and lenient towards LGBT, the gays. Eh?
Gone.
There you go. LGBTQIA. RQAI. Which one? The safest way is to say is just say the alphabet soup. America wanted to be more lenient to the alphabet soup, right?
Good.
What else they want us to do? Other things, but that's the main thing that they are pushing for now. So much so that Biden was the one now who said he's going to push from a presidential power, using his diplomats and the diplomatic corps to enforce what they want, their international politics in favor of LGBT, right? But we couldn't do that because our laws say no such thing. So we today would be seen as rebelling against America. Okay. So that's basically what Hezekiah was doing. Hezekiah was not doing the ungodly things that the king of Assyria would want him to do. The king of Assyria would want them to make sacrifices unto other gods and to follow the other ordinances. The king of Assyria would want him to keep Christmas. In those days now, that would be the winter solstice. The king of Assyria would want him to burn incense and bow themselves to Ashtoreth, right? Whichever name they gave to their god of fertility, which was worshipped around the springtime. But he couldn't. But Hezekiah did no such thing. The king of Assyria would want him to pay tribute to them. Our laws, our commandments don't tell us to do any such thing. Right? So Hezekiah was seen by the king of Assyria as a rebellious king, a kingdom that rebelled against the king of Assyria. This was when Assyria would have been ruling the world. Right? Assyria would then, right there and then, would have been the most powerful country in the world. But you know, these power back in those days were a bit fragile, in that a kingdom might rule the world for 100 years or less, and then another one take over. Right? That's the way it was. So Hezekiah was seen as a rebellious king, serving not the king of Assyria. Verse 8.
Canada 1 Gun, verse 8. He smote the Philistines, even unto Gaza, and the borders thereof, from the tower of the watchmen to the fenced city.
Right. So he warred against the Philistines and prevailed. Continue.
Canada 1 Gun, verse 9. And it came to pass in the 4th year of King Hezekiah, which was the 7th year of Hoshea, son of Elah, king of Israel, that Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, came up against Samaria and besieged it.
Right. When Hezekiah was king, because of Hezekiah's stance for the Most High God, we were no more friends with the northern kingdom. The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom stopped warring when both kingdom was serving Baal and other gods. Hezekiah put a stop to that. So Hezekiah was not loved by the southern kingdom. So we and the southern kingdom became enemies again. So much so that, you know, the southern kingdom would fight against us with other nations. That was how we now had to go to Syria. And I think that was how we start befriending the Assyrians to fight against the northern kingdom. So much so that after they get rid of the northern kingdom, they turn on us. So that was a valuable lesson still. Which is why we cannot put away the scriptures, or we're going to make the same mistake again. We cannot, as Israelite, join with any heathen nation to fight against our brother.
Right.
Right? What should we do? Take that matter to before the Lord. And in today's day, you're going to see here now where even the king used to take the matters. As a matter of fact, we have seen it before. David had Nathan. All the kings had a prophet, which, when it comes to matter of the Most High God, they would take to the prophet. And the Most High God never leave them without an answer. All right? It's only, what's the name of that king? And I think that king was a southern kingdom king, who the Most High God wanted out. The same one that was, what's his name again? Was it Ahab? Was it the Jezebel's husband? It was Ahab, right? Ahab married Jezebel, right? Right. The Most High say, you want a spirit to prophesy falsely unto him. But outside of that, the Most High God don't leave our kings without an answer. So Hezekiah, you know, that's why you know that, you know, he was not perfect either, because, you know, he made that mistake too. Continue.
Canada 1 Gun, verse 10. And at the end of 3 years, they took it, even in the 6th year of Hezekiah. that is the 9th year of Hoshea, king of Israel, Samaria was taken.
Right. This was where the entire northern kingdom now was wiped out. And we couldn't go again. We couldn't go to their aid. When we should have, been able to go up against Salmanessa as well. But we went and make Salmanessa our friend. And then the one after Salmanessa now said, wait, I can't take the two of them, man. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 11. And the king of Assyria did carry away Israel unto Assyria, and put them in Allah and in Abor by the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes.
Right. So we were spread throughout the kingdom, and so where we were spread in the cities. Why were we placed in the cities and not in the bush? Commerce. Right? They make some money off us, and they make good money off us, which is why whenever any kingdom get a hold of us, they never want to let us go. Right? The British don't want to let us go. We've been gained independence. And this is what our people need to understand. When you celebrate what is it again? August 6. When we celebrate August 6, Independence Day, we are really celebrating an act of the British Parliament. We being gained independence was an act of the British Parliament, meaning just like our government out there would sit in Parliament and make some laws, like Andrew now give you a 15-year mandatory sentence for illegal gun. That is an act. That is parliamentary law. They write it into law. Well, it's the same thing with our independence. It was written into law in the British. I mean, they can now decide to change it. So when we're talking about getting rid of the king and the crown and all them things, I mean, the damage, yeah, how feasible that is. They might do it. They might let you go if they think you're not, because they want to reclaim the Commonwealth. They might let you go if they think you're not that important to them rebuilding the British Empire, right? But they might decide to hold you. So that's why they always any kingdom we are in, put you in the cities, because no city really fail which the children of Israel are in. America have some failed cities, you wouldn't believe it, America have some failed city. Some big areas, small cities, big cities, that, like they would have said, they don't want black people and all that. Pure white people, bumps, them fail. Almost all of them. You look at failed cities, you can research that. Failed cities in the Americas. They not even have no portion of people. But all of those that makes the money is where Judah is and where the other tribes are. Right? You have California. California full with Mexicans. Matter of fact, I think California was part of Mexico before America annexed California. Right?
And Texas.
And Texas. And at the same time now you want to throw stones on Russia for trying to annex part of Ukraine. Right? So the same thing that America has done in the building of their kingdom. They annex lands that were close by to them, which they think was important to their future development. So when Assyria took Samaria, if they didn't think the Israelites at that time were that important, they would either kill them out or carry them into bushes, you know, just kill them out and enslave them, put them anywhere. But what they did, they moved them into the city. So that's what number one cheap labor. Read on.
Canada 1 Con, verse 12. Because they obeyed not the voice of the Lord their God, but transgressed his covenant, and all that Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded them, and would not hear them, nor do them.
Right. So because of that, they were taken as slaves into the Assyrian kingdom. 13.
Canada 1 Con, verse 13. Now in the 14th year of King Hezekiah, did Sennacherib, king of Assyria, came up against all the fenced cities of Judah and took them.
All right. So this is now not Salmanessar now, but Sennacherib, the new king in Assyria. When after they took the northern kingdom, by then they would have seen the financial gains that they are making from them. So they say, well, why not take the other set of them too? Right? Because I mean, well, if had they overthrown some African nations also, what they would be doing? They would just carrying a bag of stench and uncleanness into their cities. Then they know that. But when they carry the Israelites into their cities, they are carrying cleanliness. Right? What our cities did? We clean our cities daily, which was why in Christ's time the herd of pigs. They would go through the city, and you wonder what so much we don't eat pigs. What so much pigs doing in Israel? Yeah, because we use them to clean our city. We never have the garbage disposal that we have today. So the pigs would go through the city in herds and eat up all the garbage. Right? So that one way that we now ensure our cities are clean daily. And then you have the people now being clean. And then whoever we were placed to serve, we would also be teaching them cleanliness. So they always benefit from oppressing us, which is why they always love to oppress us. Because there is gain for them. And when the time of our punishment is at an end, they don't want to let you go. All right. So now Sennacherib time now. Sennacherib, king of Assyria now, take over. And it's like Sennacherib would say, we took the northern kingdom. Why not take the other one too? Continue.
Canada 1 Con, verse 14. And Hezekiah, king of Judah, sent to the king of Assyria, to Lachish, saying, I have offended, return from me. That which thou puttest on me will I bear. And the king of Assyria appointed unto Hezekiah, king of Judah, 300 talents of silver and 30 talents of gold.
Right. So the Assyrian king now say, all right, this is what you're going to pay unto us. 300 talents of silver, 30 talents of gold. Continue.
Canada 1 Con, verse 15. And Hezekiah gave him all the silver that was found in the house of the Lord, and in the treasures of the king's house.
Right. So the treasuries now, the king's treasury and the house of the Most High God, Hezekiah gave him all those. Go on.
Verse 16. At that time did Hezekiah cut off the gold from the doors of the temple of the Lord, and from the pillars which Hezekiah king of Judah had overlaid, and gave it to the king of Assyria.
Right. So this is now you have a door, obviously made of wood, but they would gold plate it. Plate that wood with real gold. I think there's a picture, there's a little video on the web with Putin come walking through a golden door.
Gone.
Well, you think of that now. You see how the gold shine and all that. That's why we would overlay pillars, which are columns, and doors with gold. It gives you that shiny look. So the kind of light that we had was not white light like what we have now. It was firelight. So imagine you have that golden doors and golden things in the temple, and you would light your candles and so on. The entire room would lit up like gold, which is why, and that's a beautiful, calming feeling, which is why we always plate a lot of our things with gold. The gold, the utensils for the temple, either gold or gold looking, as in brass. So here now, Hezekiah now have the doors with gold, and take off even the gold off the door and give it to the king of Assyria, because he wanted to make up the amount of gold that he would give, come up with that. How much talent of gold is it? 30 talents of gold and 300 talents of silver. Right? So he had to make up that to pay over. Continue.
Canada 1 Con, verse 17. And the king of Assyria sent Tartan and Rabsaris and Rabshakeh from Lachish to King Hezekiah with a great host against Jerusalem. And they went up and came to Jerusalem. And when they were come up, they came and stood by the conduit of the upper pool, which is in the highway of the fuller's field.
All right. So, this was a major roadway, call it a highway. Major roadway leading from point A to point B. Continue.
Canada 1 Con, verse 18. And when they had called to the king, there came out to them Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, which was over the household, and Shebna, the scribe, and Joah, the son of Asaph, the recorder.
Continue.
Verse 19. And Rabshakeh said unto them, Speak ye now to Hezekiah. Thus saith the great king, the king of Assyria, what confidence is there wherein thou trustest?
What confidence is this wherein thou trusted? Meaning, they were aware that Hezekiah was a man who 100% served the Most High God of Israel. So they were saying, oh, this is why you think you're trusting him. We have defeated all the other gods. Why you think you won't be anything different? Continue. Let me hear what them saying.
Canada 1 Con, verse 20. Thou sayest, but they are but vain words. I have counsel and strength for the war. Now on whom dost thou trust that thou rebellest against me?
I have counsel and strength for the war. So, he's saying, he's given the power by the king, and him have the army behind him for this war. So I have what I need for this war. What you have, what you trusting in. Now, this is the big thought that they are now making to King Hezekiah. Continue.
Canada 1 Con, verse 21. Now behold, thou trustest upon the staff of this bruised reed, even upon Egypt, on which if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt unto all that trust on him.
Right, because by this time, Egypt was no powerful nation again. Right? They were around as a country. They had an army, but they had a name, which was in the past. So that's why Assyria now could talk and say, you trusted in this bruised reed, meaning it's a broken staff. It's not a strong staff you are trusting in when you trust in Egypt. So he's telling Hezekiah that Hezekiah is trusted in Egypt. Continue.
Canada 1 Con, verse 22. But if ye say unto me, we trust in the Lord our God, is not that he whose high places and whose altars Hezekiah has taken away, and has said to Judah and Jerusalem, ye shall worship before this altar in Jerusalem?
Right. So them know that Hezekiah has taken away the high places that was in Judah. To the nations, these high places were poor. But to us, it was just, what's the right word now? It's just idolatry.
Good.
But to the nations, these was poor. It's just like today in America, when you hear they talk about Bohemian Grove. People think it's a powerhouse, ain't it?
Good.
Because who are the people that go to that grove? World leaders. So they see it as a powerful thing for these leaders to go to the Bohemian Grove to hold their meeting and so on and so forth. But really and truly, to us here in the truth, that's just a big boys club, really. That they go to do vain things. Right? So these men now are talking about Hezekiah removing the high places. Continue.
Canada 1 Con, verse 23. Now therefore, I pray thee, give pledges to my lord, the king of Assyria, and I will deliver thee 2,000 horses, if thou be able, and thy part to set riders upon them.
So I'm saying now, he have them in force because Hezekiah not paying the money that was levied on him. So then he come with his forces and I'm say, pay the money that the king levy on you and we'll give you 2,000 horses that you can put as long as you can put riders on them. Meaning that's what? That's cavalry. That will be giving him a army, a cavalry. The man and the horse, you call that the cavalry. Continue.
Canada 1 Con, verse 24. How then wilt thou turn away the face of one captain of the least of my master's servants, and put thy trust on Egypt for chariots and for horsemen?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 25. Am I now come up without the Lord against this place to destroy it? The Lord said to me, go up against this land and destroy it.
I mean, this is regular Eden now telling you what God spoke to them. Many times the white men them in the evangelical service tell about the Lord said. Well, that's what this captain of the Assyrian host is now saying unto the Israelites, unto us, the southern kingdom, saying, God sent me against you. Continue.
Canada 1 Con, verse 26. Then said Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, and Shibna, and Joah, unto Rabshakeh, speak, I pray thee, to thy servant in the Syrian language, for we understand it, and take not with us, and talk not with us in the Jews' language, in the ears of the people that are on the wall.
All right. Because I'm going to tell him, say, all right, don't speak in the Jewish language. Speak in the Assyrian, in the Syrian language. You understand the Syrian language. Because you have to have some things in the ears of the people now where you don't need to be talking. Go on.
Ghana 1 Con, verse 27. But Rabshakeh said unto them, hath my master sent me to thy master and to thee to speak these words? Has he not sent me to the men which sit on the wall, that they may eat their own dung and drink their own piss with you?
So he's saying to them now, I was not sent to your master, the king, Hezekiah. I was sent to everybody basically because they are going to eat their filth and drink their piss along with you whenever I come up against you. Big talk them then worry them.
God.
Yeah. Just like when you see boxers do it when they're going into fight. Yeah, I'm going to this, I'm going to that. Right. These are big up talk, war talk. Go on.
Ghana 1 Con, verse 28. Then Rabshakeh stood and cried with a loud voice in the Jews' language, and spake, saying, hear the word of the great king, the king of Assyria.
Go on.
Verse 29. Thus saith the king, let not Hezekiah deceive you, for he shall not be able to deliver you out of his hand.
Right. So I'm now turning to the people speaking in the Jews' language, speaking our ancient Hebrew language. The men from the king, Hezekiah, told them, change the language, man. Speaking in Syrian. I understand it. So if he had spoken Syrian, then the regular man on the wall would not understand what he's saying. But what is he doing now? He is trying to break the courage of the entire Jewish nation. So he's now speaking loud, make everybody hear him. Go on.
Ghana 1 Con, verse 30. Neither let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord, saying, the Lord will surely deliver us, and this city shall not be delivered into the hand of the king of Assyria.
All right, so I'm gearing up himself now to get pompous. Go on.
Verse 31. Hearken not to Hezekiah, for thus saith the king of Assyria, make an agreement with me by a present, and come out to me, and then eat ye every man of his own vine, and every one of his fig tree, and drink ye every one the waters of his cistern.
So he's saying now, follow us, follow the king of Assyria. Make an agreement with the king. Come out with the present, what was levied on you. So every man now will get to keep his own vineyard, his own fig tree, and eat from his own, and eat and drink from his own cistern. But yeah, even after this, other nations come up against us and make the same talk, and the people agree and say, okay, it don't sound too bad. And as soon as they go and join with them, bops, they are being invaded, and like in the time of the Maccabees, they came in and they make big talk. And the people say, okay, yeah, we can do this, and let down the guard. And then they just fall on the people and they kill what they don't see. Go on.
Ghana 1 Con, verse 32. Until I come and take you away to a land like your own land, and land of corn and wine, a land of bread and vineyard, a land of oil, olive, and of honey, that ye may live and not die, and hearken not unto Hezekiah, when he persuaded you, saying, the Lord will deliver us.
So he's now trying to break the spirit of those who would stand and fight with the king. telling them, don't trust in the king, your king, you know. You see the house here behind me? Pay the all right, what we call it today? Like what we would owe IMF and them countries. Pay your debts,
Gone.
right? Pay that which was levied on you and live and eat and drink from your own cistern until we come and take you from where you are and take you to a land. A sweet, pay a sweet talk, you know. Take you to a land with corn and wine and honey and this and fig tree and, you know, take you to a good land. That's what they're saying.
Right.
Maybe that's what they told us in the time when the first set of Israelites that they brought around here as slaves. maybe that's what they told them. We're gonna take you to a goodly land, man. A land around out there in the sea with up beyond these shores, which you can live, you can survive. Yeah. And we are like, really? Wow, that sounds good. Because very history tell you, the first set of slaves who came out here didn't come as slaves, no. Who land in Virginia. They didn't come as slaves. They didn't go on the ship as slaves, you know. They go on the ship as free men. Until when they land, there's like they say, hold on, how I go on there? Nah, man. This is something totally different from what they told us. Only to realize that Babs, slavery. Yeah. And they bring out some more and then they say, wow, this is a very lucrative business. Why not make it, why not expand on it? Yeah. And America, it got so rich off the backs of us. I mean, America's riches is just never ending, it seems. Even though they might look like they have recession coming and all that. Each time it look like they have recession, all they do is print more money. And then the money is backed by the military. So if you decide, we can make a decision to stop using the US dollar. You would see the US military ship start pulling up on our shores. First, they would tell us, no, we're not here to overtake you. We're just here to assure you. We are just your big brother. We are here to help you fight the gunmen that you have. Probably that's what they would tell us, you know. They're here to help us fight, control crime and all that foolishness until they fall on us. Upon 80, when 80 had the earthquake, America take the Asian ports. And people believe that, oh yeah, America now taking parts of 80. 80 is going to be better. Better what? The only thing they do is become a better place for gun trafficking guns. And whose guns are being trafficked in there? The Americans. Yeah. So it's no way different. So they come and they talking to the people them now, say, come and join with us. And we will let you keep what you have until we come and take you until a better land. Continue.
Canada 1 Gun, verse 33. As any of the gods of the nations delivered at all his land out of the hand of the king of Assyria.
Right. So none of the gods of the nation that we have devoured was not able. But what they don't know is that our God is not like the gods of those nations. Continue. Continue.
Canada 1 Gun, verse 34. Where are the gods of Amath and of Arpad? Where are the gods of Sepharvaim, Ena, and Eva? Have they delivered Samaria out of mine hand?
Go on.
Verse 35. Who are they among all the gods of the countries that have delivered their country out of mine hand, that the Lord should deliver Jerusalem out of mine hand?
Well, of course, he didn't say the Lord. He would call it the name that Yahweh should deliver Jerusalem out of my hand. Big talk. Go on.
Another one can, verse 36. But the people held their peace and answered him not a word. For the king commandment was saying, answer him not.
Go on.
Verse 37. Then came Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, which was over the household, and Shebna, the scribe, and Joah, the son of Asaph, the recorder, to Hezekiah, with their clothes rent, and told him the words of Rabshakeh.
Right. So they rent their clothes because what those heathens did was blaspheme against the Most High God. They did not so much speak against the Israelites. They were blaspheming against God. And even when they are in idolatry, they know that you should not do such a thing. And make it worse, they were not in idolatry then. All right, go on. Verse chapter 9.
This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 19 and verse 1. And it came to pass, when King Hezekiah heard it, that he rent his clothes and covered himself with sackcloth and went into the house of the Lord.
Right, he go right into the temple. Go on.
Verse 2. And he sent Eliakim, which was over the household, and Shebna the scribe, and the elders of the priests, covered with sackcloth, to Isaiah the prophet, son of Amos.
So the son of Amos. So here you have it now. Hezekiah now realize what he's up against. He's up against a blasphemous nation. So he's the king, but what is he doing? He's now sending to the prophet. Right? He's now sending to the prophet to ask for what? Guidance. Asking for instruction. But he is the king. But because he understands how Yahweh works, he knows the role of the prophet. Right? Which one of these leaders over the people of the Most High God has ever asked commanding General YAHANNA for his
yes, sir. See,
guidance?
like your mic muted.
No, it's not. You hear me now?
Yeah, I'm not here, sir.
Any better?
All right. It seemed like you hear me, but I'm not hear you, sir. All right, let me check the live to see if, you know what I mean. Let's see how okay.
All right. Let me see if you broadcast, you know. All right. Let me see if you broadcast, you know.
All right, sir. May I hear you through the live, but me not hear you through the stream. Yeah. Maybe it's mic.
I don't know. I didn't do anything to the stream. I didn't touch it or anything.
1 second.
All right. So you not coming through now? Nah. Very low.
very low.
Yeah. I don't like your sister giving trouble. Talk when I say we can hear. I see your lips moving, but I'm not hearing what you're saying.
Y'all hear me, sir?
Yeah, I hear you now.
All right.
What happened?
All right. We just plug out the mic. I don't know what's going on with the mic. It's so low, so we just have to work on the computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might come go on you do. It might come go on you do one or two songs, man. You don't want you DJ too long.
Yeah.
All right. Where we are again? Verse 1.
Verse 3. You hear me?
Yeah. Verse 3.
One gun,
Right.
verse 3.
The question I was asking now, which are these leaders which are over the Most High God's people has ever asked commanding General YAHANNA for any guidance on how they can govern over the Most High's people? None of them. All they do, they take their sit down with the little power that they have, sit down in parliament, and they this is like Andrew said, poverty is no excuse for you to be having a gun. I mean, I don't support illegal guns because you know what they do, but at the same time, is that the way you really go about dealing with the Most High's people? Have you given them anything to live off? And then the other nations them now want to say, who gave us anything? They need to go and read the history book. The Indians and the Chinese came out here, they get something to live off. Right? Things to pass on down all the way down to their from generation to generation, inheritance to inheritance. Until this day, we have not been given any inheritance. That's not how the Most High people is governed. But anyway, we'll soon get into that. Read on.
One gun, verse 3. And they said unto him, thus saith Hezekiah, this day is a day of trouble and of rebuke and blasphemy, for the children are come to the birth, and there is not strength to bring forth.
All right. So, this is saying now, this is like a woman giving birth now. She's ready to give birth, but she don't have the strength to push out the baby. That's what they were saying to Hezekiah. That's what they were saying to Isaiah. Verse 4.
Another one gun, verse 4. It may be the Lord thy God will hear all the words of Shake, whom the king of Assyria, his master, has sent to reproach the living God, and will reprove the words which the Lord thy God has heard. Wherefore lift up thy prayer for the remnant that are left.
You know what him just what I just remember now, this man here sent who reproach to be a reproach. What you say? Will reprove the words. Reproach the living God. What's the name of the governor who want to say after the COVID, it wasn't God who do it? Her name again? Him lose him seat the very instant him said that. And they find he was charged for something else. Kumo.
Yeah.
His name was like Kumo. Yeah, man. Big talk him making face the talk. And even today, any nation make any face attack against God, always feel the pinch. Go on.
Daniel 1 gun, verse 5. So the servants of King Hezekiah came to Isaiah.
Go on.
6. And Isaiah said unto them, Thus shall he say to your master, Thus saith the Lord, be not afraid of the words which thou hast heard, with which the servants of the king of Assyria have blasphemed me.
Go on.
Verse 8. Verse 7. Behold, I will send a blast upon him, and he shall hear a rumor, and shall return to his own land, and I will cause him to fall by the word in his own land, the sword in his own land.
All right. So he's going to hear a rumor and he's going to go back to his own land, believing that there is someone there to fight. And then in his own land, he's going to fall by the sword. So now, the Most High this Most High is now showing Israel real warfare, right? Tell you what he's going to do with the enemy, and then it goes the same way, like what I'm saying. Go on.
Daniel 1 gun, verse 8. So Rabshakeh returned and found the king of Assyria warring against Libnah, for he had heard that he was departed from Lachish.
All right. So when he go back now, the king of Assyria warring against a place now. He say, all right, the man I know a rebel against we, but it was a rumor. Verse 9.
Daniel 1 gun, verse 9. And when he heard say of Tirhakah, king of Ethiopia, behold, he is come out to fight against thee, he sent messenger again unto Hezekiah, saying, verse 10, Thus shall ye speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah, saying, Let not thy God in whom thou trustest deceive you, saying, Jerusalem shall not be delivered into the hand of the king of Assyria.
Go on.
Daniel 1 gun, verse 11. Behold, thou hast heard what the kings of Assyria have done to our lands by destroying them utterly, and shall thou be delivered?
Right, so they are telling the Israelites again now what Assyria have done. You know, hear about what we do? Oh, we mash up them countries there, we destroy these land. Well, you think you're going to be anyway different? Go on.
Daniel 1 gun, verse 12. Have the gods of the nations delivered them, which my fathers have destroyed, as Gozan and Aran and Rezeph and the children of Eden, which were in Telassar,
Go on.
Canada 1 gun, verse 13. Where is the king of Hamath, and the king of Arba, and the king of the city of Sepharvaim, of Ena and Iva?
So much kings and throw down. Come on, so we are those kings. You think you're going to be anyway different? 14.
Canada 1 gun, verse 14. And Hezekiah received the letter of the hand of the messengers and read it. And Hezekiah went up into the house of the Lord and spread it before the Lord.
Go on.
Canada 1 gun, verse 15. And Hezekiah prayed before the Lord and said, O Lord God of Israel, which dwellest between the cherubims, thou art the God, even thou alone, of all the kingdoms of the earth. Thou hast made heaven and earth.
Go on.
Verse 16. Lord, bow down thine ear and ear. Open, Lord, thine eyes and see, and hear the words of Sennacherib, which has sent him to reproach the living God.
Right. Sennacherib. Hear the words of Sennacherib. That's Sennacherib is now the king. So he's now come to reproach the living God. Tell him all them other false God, him throw them down and thing. Go on.
Verse 17. Of a truth, Lord, the kings of Assyria have destroyed the nations and their lands.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 18. And have cast their goods into the fire.
Gods. Gods.
Verse 18. And have cast their gods into the fire, for they were not gods.
No God. There were no God.
For they were no gods, but the work of men's hands, wood and stone. Therefore, they have destroyed them.
Right. 19.
Another one, God, verse 19. Now, therefore, O Lord, our God, I beseech thee, save thou us out of his hand, that all kingdoms of the earth may know that thou art the Lord God, even thou alone. So, yeah, only.
All right. So, this is what I tell you now. This is the most I always, he go for the juggler, take the glory. So Assyria is now the world power. Assyria has thrown down great, good enough countries, great countries, and is now the superpower in the world in that time. But, with his pomposity, telling that not even the God of Israel won't be able to stand from his hand. Even we now are able to look and say, to look back and to look and say, whatever fact he did waste some kings and their lands. But this is what Hezekiah said the right thing now. Let the rest of the world know that you alone is God. So this is why it has made it to the scriptures, because this was one way that the Most High show himself to the world. That I am this God, I am the God of this world. Go on.
Verse 20. Then Isaiah, the son of Amos, said to Hezekiah, saying, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, that which thou hast prayed to me against Sennacherib, king of Assyria, I have heard.
21.
Verse 21. This is the word that the Lord has spoken concerning him. The virgin, the daughter of Zion, has despised thee and laughed thee to scorn. The daughter of Jerusalem has shaken her head at thee.
Right. So, poor you. Talking like that against God. Go on.
Another one, God, verse 22. Whom hast thou reproached and blasphemed, and against whom hast thou exalted thy voice, and lifted up thine eyes and eye, even against the Holy One of Israel.
23.
Verse 23. By thy messengers thou hast reproached the Lord, and hast said, with the multitude of my chariot I am come up to the height of the mountains, to the sides of Lebanon, and will cut down the tall cedar trees thereof, and the choice fir trees thereof, and I will enter into the lodgings of his borders, and into the forest of his Carmel.
24.
Verse 24. I have digged and drunk strange waters, and with the sole of my feet have I dried up all the rivers of besieged places.
25.
Verse 25. As though not heard long ago, how I have done it, and of ancient times that I have formed it, now have I brought it to pass, that thou shouldest be to lay waste fenced cities into ruinous heaps.
26.
Verse 26. Therefore, Their inhabitants were of small power. They were dismayed and confounded. They were as the grass of the field, and as the green herb, as the grass on the housetops, and as corn blasted before it be grown up.
27.
Verse 27. But I know thy abode, and thy going out, and thy coming in, and thy rage against me.
All right. 28.
Another one gone, verse 28. Because thy rage against me and thy tumult is come up into mine ears, therefore I will put my hook in thy nose, and my bridle in thy lips, and I will turn thee back by the way by which thou comest.
Right. So Assyria now, gain a lot of things, but in getting bright now, start passing place. So the most High is going to bridle him and turn him back. Go on.
Another one come, verse 29. And this shall be a sign unto thee. Ye shall eat this year such things as grow of themselves. And in the second year, that which springeth of the same. And in the third year, sow ye and reap and plant vineyards and eat the fruits thereof.
30.
Verse 30. And the remnant that is escaped of the house of Judah shall yet again take root downward and bear fruit upward.
Go on.
Verse 31. For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and they that escape out of Mount Zion, the zeal of the Lord of hosts shall do this.
Right. 32.
Verse 32. Therefore, thus saith the Lord concerning king of Assyria, he shall not come into this city, nor shoot an arrow there, nor come before it with shield, nor cast a bank against it.
Right. So the most I said, I have done so much thing for my people and done so much things, and him get so pompous and thing. You know what? I'm going to turn him back. All right. The most I allow him to rise to where he was because he was tearing down the false god of the nations. And we all know, everyone in the truth know that the most I goes for that, tearing down idolatry. Because idolatry has done nothing more than lead people in general, even the heathens, lead them astray. Lead them to follow what wouldn't, to follow what other men make into law and into a philosophy. Because when they speak, then it's not the wood and stone speaking, it's other men come up with these wisdom or this knowledge. Go on.
Another one gone, verse 33. By the way that he came, by the same shall he return, and shall not come into this city, saith the Lord. Verse 34. For I will defend this city, save it, for my own sake, and for my servant David's sake.
Yes, because him getting pompous. So the Most High cannot allow him now to be so pompous and come and take the city. Nah, couldn't take Jerusalem. No matter how much he was against, no matter how much he was against um, Israel at the time and wanted to punish Israel, he had to turn them back. He had to turn back the Assyrians because of that pomposity, that pompous speaking that they were making. He couldn't allow them to flourish. Go on.
Another one gone, verse 35. And it came to pass that night that the angel of the Lord went out and smote in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses.
Right. So within the camp, so you can imagine how much people came up that the Most High killed 185,000 of them. Which is why we know that this 144,000 spoken of in Revelation is, trust me, is a small amount. And the Most High kill way more than that. But the Most High said that's what he wants to raise back his people up. So within each tribe, we have to get people rose up, raised up to meet the Most High God. So the Most High killed 185,000 Assyrians when they come up and encamp against the southern kingdom. Go on.
Verse 36. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh.
Well, dwelt in Nineveh. Same Nineveh who Jonah was sent to prophesy against. Go on, 37.
Another one, verse 37. And it came to pass, as he was worshipping in the house of Nisra, his god, that Adramelech and Sharezer, his sons, smote him with the sword, and they escaped into the land of Armenia. And Asarathslakia and Asarhaddon, his son, reigned in his stead.
So just like the Moses say, you might go back home and die of the sword. So what do you think happened now? His own sons kill him for his failure to take Jerusalem. Right? And he died while he was there worshiping his false god. That is how the Most High God of Israel works. Right? And today we're not expecting any less. Right? We have a leader in Jamaica here just get up and start making, all right, they think that their hands are tied and so on and so forth. They want to fight crime, you have to fight crime, but this is a predominantly Christian nation. Look at the Bible at how the Most High, the laws the Most High put in place that is supposed to stem crime, right? If you give the people nothing to live off, crime will increase. And then you are going to become pompous and run your mouth against the Most High's people and against the Most High. Sennacherib and his hosts. That's what they did because they look at we throw down all these kings and so on their lands. You're not going to be anyway different. Well, the Heathens today is saying a similar thing. Why you're not the only one that is poor. Why because you're poor, you're going to take up an illegal gun. Being poor is no excuse for taking up an illegal gun. That's what our very own Prime Minister, and we can't find it. Where is it? All right, our very own Prime Minister said, poverty, no excuse for having an illegal gun. Where? How do I share this again? So come on, come. Here. Stop sharing. Share. Right, this man now, this is the man standing on the wall now speaking against the Most High's people. And what is he telling us? He's telling us that poverty is no excuse to own an illegal gun. Is that so? I don't know. Can people have an excuse for crime? We don't know. But statistics shows, I think it's about 98% and 98% of those who commit crime, belong to poverty. So that shows that poverty is the main driving force to criminal activities. So if poverty is the main force that drives criminal activities, if you really want to fight crime, what do you do?
Get rid of poverty.
Right. Fight poverty, reduce poverty. So obviously you reduce poverty, you could reduce crime. So they all know the volatile communities. And these volatile communities, in a sense, they are like walled cities, because as volatile as they are, tourism is still the number one earner right now. They are not targeting the tourist areas. So there's a wall between these tourist areas and these volatile communities. So if you know the volatile communities and you know that poverty is the thing that is driving them into crime, why do you stand on the wall? Because unlike the time of Sennacherib, we were the ones on the wall listening to Sennacherib down there. Now our leaders are the ones that are on the wall. They are right in our cities. They are now on the wall talking to us down there and telling us, keeping us in poverty, and then telling us that, being poor is no excuse.
Right.
But, this is why we ask if any of you ever come to a prophet of the Most High. The king back then went to Isaiah. Has any of you ever, even by night, they went to Christ? Any of you ever go to commanding General YAHANNA and ask him, what can I do to get the Most High's people, to give the Most High's people a better life? No, you want to make them into criminals. So you are saying now that because they are poor, they take up a gun. But that is no excuse. So what will I do now? They will have a let me see if we can find it in this. Where they talk about where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? 15 years mandatory sentence. 15 years before parole. Once you get, all right, here it is. In addition, under section 20, line 2, the mandatory sentence has been increased from 15 years to 20 years. All right, up further up now. The consequential amendments made to the Offences Act, Offences Against the Person Act, will increase penalty provisions for section 13, 16, and 17 by including a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years for offenses involving the use of a firearm. In addition, under section 20, the mandatory sentence has been increased from 15 years to 20 years, in keeping with the proposed penalty regime in the current bill. So in other words, guns are not made in Jamaica. You can't do nothing to stop the guns from coming in. No poor people is carrying guns into Jamaica. But it find its hands into the poorer people. How comes? How comes? Not only that, you know, put in place rather than think of how you can bring down poverty. No, it's not poverty is the problem. If you attack poverty, then that you're going to say now, people might say, oh, so you know, not keep the people them poor.
So like you, sir, he admitted that, you know what I mean, people who fire gun is in poverty. That I will admit. So, you
Yeah,
know what I mean, like I said, he acknowledged that poverty is a factor. So if poverty is a factor, you know what I mean, why you don't try to get rid of the poverty? Why is it that it now to be an excuse? Why you don't just get rid of the poverty so that nobody have an excuse? You understand?
right. And it is the same parties, same political gangs that are some of the biggest gun traders in the island.
Right.
So, you know, the irony of the whole thing, the very same gangs that is in support of him bringing the gun, when they are being caught with the gun, I mean, you can be set up and get caught with a gun. That can happen. Many cases that has happened. But you're caught with a gun and 20 years. You know, one of the things that they could do, why they just free up the gun, since as America will not help in restricting the guns.
Right.
Why not just say, yeah, make it a gun-free nation? Just like which country in Europe is gun-free again? Switzerland. Switzerland.
Free, I mean, free to own a firearm.
Yeah, man.
Okay, got
And of course, crime is all the way down. Because, I mean, you're going up in an establishment to rob. You're not the only one in there with a gun. Everybody in there have a gun. So you have to behave yourself. All right. Take me to oh gosh, where is it? Joshua. Book of Joshua.
gun.
Let me see Joshua what again. Joshua chapter 14.
One gun.
All right, let us read from about 1 to 5.
One gun. This is the book of Joshua, chapter 14 and verse 1. And these are the countries which the children of Israel inherited in the land of Canaan, which Eleazar the priest and Joshua the son of Nun and the heads of the fathers of the tribes of the children of Israel distributed for inheritance to them. Verse 2. By lot was their inheritance, as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses, for the 9 tribes and for the half tribe. Verse 3. For Moses had given the inheritance of 2 tribes and a half tribe on the other side Jordan, but unto the Levites he gave none inheritance among them. Verse 4. For the children of Joseph were 2 tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. Therefore, they gave no part unto the Levites
in the land, save cities to dwell in, with their suburbs for their cattle and for their substance. Verse 5. As the Lord commanded Moses, so the children of Israel did, and they divided the land.
All right, so we were given places to put our wait about cattle, right? With their suburbs for their cattle and for their substance. We were given places to raise our animals and to put our substance, to put our houses, to put our things that we own, and so on and so forth. Now, what were we given since slavery?
Right.
You took the labor. They teach, I mean, if I social study, I would subject in primary school, where they teach about those who the history of the people in Jamaica. The first ones were here were the Tainos, then the Europeans came, then the Africans were brought here. And then you have
that would be social studies for real.
social studies, right?
Go.
And then you have a span of 100 odd years or 200 odd years. And then the Indians were brought here. The Indians worked 5 years indentured labor, and at the end of 5 years, they were paid. They were paid off. And with that money that they get, they were able to open shops. The Chinese, a similar thing. So you bring a nation come here now for 5 years, and then at the end of 5 years, you can get something to live off. And you have us here for 100 odd years before slavery abolished. 200 odd years. I don't know, was it 300 or something, because 100 odd years now since slavery abolished, which take us to the 400 years. Yeah, 200 odd years. And we could hardly buy a bicycle until now. Until now, our men don't have anything to live off, really. Whatever they have is what they go there and work hard for. Then they have never given anything. But so much were taken from them. You, the government, control the ports. Every single gun that comes into the island comes through a port. The airport, your seaport. Every single one comes through the port. No citizen has the legal right to change how a port operates. Only the government does that. The government man every single port. They can put the soldiers on the streets. Maybe it's best if you just put them in the ports and find the guns before they come in. Right? You have the authority to manage the ports. You don't. But now you are going to speak against the Most High people, because we are always the easy ones for you to come and say things and stand on the wall and be pompous and make talk against. Being poor is no excuse, really. Is you make the people poor, right? You are the representative of the government now, so it is you who you now in the hot seat, and you now stand on the wall and telling the people, rather than pushing for the people to get right priest and officer award. That's right. What they should be doing is fighting poverty, right? 40 acres and a mule. Now, had our people been given their 40 acres and a mule, you would be able to be talking about poverty and be no excuse. If you given them the 40 acres and a mule, and then they, mess it up, then maybe that would be a different argument. But you didn't give them. You gave them nothing to live off. right? Many of us who go out there and put our shoulders to the wheel and hustle. Many times when you forget your money, you can't get your money because of the same system that is designed to keep you poor. And it's telling you that being poor is no excuse. While the system was not designed to keep the Chinese, the Indians, the Arabs, the whites, it was not designed to keep any of those people poor, you know. But it was designed to keep us poor. And then you now can use poverty as a big stick over the people. And hey, Andrew, I feel it, you know. Yeah, man. Prime Minister, I feel it, man. You're all fattening yourself. This government probably is the most them probably gone more scandals than PJ now. It's just that they not come out yet. But they'll be coming out soon. The most are going to reveal it. You pointing fingers at the most I see you with your finger point here, you know. And this is what you are saying while you're pointing a finger. Poverty being no excuse. Right? The most are not going to that is not going to see the next part you say about illegal gun. You are going to be punished by God for the saying that poverty is no excuse, while all of you inside there fattening yourself.
Right.
And it's a matter of time before all the scandals start reeling out. They'll be coming out, man. Right? Where we're going to see what is going to happen to you. Because you people, you make it a point of duty to, as soon as you can drop the whip on the Most High people back, you do it. Mm-hmm. We know thief the Chinese them be, you know. We know so them bring a lot of illegal cigarettes. Those don't even make the news. You know much of them go to jail from time to time. They don't even make the news. But as you find one of the Most High people with one gun when have a license. Bops. There you go. The Chinese who you lock up with the illegal cigarettes, they are the ones who bring it in. Many of the Most High people who you lock up for illegal guns, is either it was given to them. Obviously, it has to be given to them because they're poor. Or you poor man that with gun. Gun not cheap, you know. Gun and ammunition is not cheap. Right? If you go to the States and you're going to one of the gun shops, you're going to one of them range shops, and you look at the price of the weapons, they're expensive. It makes me wonder. So who is sponsoring the poor men with the guns? Right? We know that a lot of the people leave the country and you know the money they start doing a little better financially and they buy guns send back. But those guns come through the port. Why is it that you are not able to monitor the ports? It should be easier to monitor the ports than to monitor the streets, you know.
Right.
You can count the amount of ports you have, right? And even when all of you in House of Parliament hold up your 10 finger and your 10 toes, we have more roads than the amount of fingers and toes that you all have, right? Yet still you find it easier to monitor the streets. Because on the streets is the most nice people. The only persons you are inconveniencing is us. But if you're going to ports, you're going to inconvenience the other nations.
Yeah.
Hypocrisy. That's what it is. Hypocrisy.
Right.
Right? And that's one of the reasons why most of you don't like I.S.U.P.K. You know? With a full tongue and unbridled. We don't care. Somebody have to blow the trumpet. Right? Somebody has to blow the trumpet. And when we blow the trumpet, all of you're all vexed, you know. Because we chat too much.
So like you sir. You know what I mean? The same thing what you must say, you find say a lot of our people are say say the same thing. You know what I mean? Poverty is not, you know what I mean, any excuse to turn to crime. You know what I mean? Because a few people might make it through the education system and become successful. You understand? So them
Well,
see it's like yeah.
like I said, like we have always said, like I've always said, when you get someone who has been through the system hard and have made it, him become the toughest taskmaster you can ever put over the people.
Right.
Because he believed that everyone should come and make it hard like he make it, not knowing that the Most High's people have always been given inheritances, given things to live off, and then we take it from there. All right, we have a question online. Prison Officer Awar ask if the Jamaica security minister is Moab. Yeah, he's Moab. Even his name tell you. What name? First time. Right. The Prime Minister is we don't even know. Andrew's one. Mix up. Huh?
Not confirmed, sir.
He is from the mix-up tribe.
Yeah.
He is too mix-up, right? But I don't know what will be his outcome. Trust me, it's not going nice for him. I know what's going to be the worst thing. You know what might bring him out, bring him down? The very way that he's fattening himself now that we know not of, is going to come out and bring him down. That's your downfall, Mr. Prime Minister. And when it happens, just remember, it's because you point finger and call the Most High people poor when you have the authority to make their life better. So rather than you use your authority to make their life better, what you do? You point your finger and call them poor. Yes, Mr. Rich Andrew. The Most High people is poor. And because they're poor, they have to turn to guns. When you can do better and monitor the guns, which one of us can take it on ourselves to monitor the port?
Right.
You can. We can't. You go monitor the port, man, and stop pointing fingers at the Most High's people. And you of the Most High's people who is on his side, you are going to feel his downfall. Go down like him too. Because all of you do nothing more than hate the Most High's people. That's all you do, you know. Hate on the Most High's people. For what? What them do? You work on here for 400 years. And all we get is nothing more hate and grudge and call us lazy and all them things. After you build your empire out of the people, you talk about the people and lazy. Huh? I don't know what else they want out of us. Anyway, Christ is going to come and show you how lazy you are. You are on your chance. Hey man, when he put you to work, don't work. You know what the good thing about Christ, he can raise you from the dead. So we're not going we're not going to have any qualms in killing you. Shot you in the head and kill you, ask Christ to raise you back. Just so he can shoot you again. Yeah man. You all take the Most High's people for a ride. Enrich yourself off our backs and then turn around and curse us. That's terrible, man. All right. You have anything you were saying?
No, sir.
All right. So you finished.
Hi, I'm Steve Clemens, and I have a question.
You finished the
Drones
point you were
equipped with
making.
facial recognition.
Say that again, sir.
You were making a point. I'm asking if you finish.
Go on, sir. Yeah, man.
All right. So questions? Any questions from the class? All right. So that part of the class of priest and officer Kayaba.
these are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the word. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means 10 in the Hebrew and is pronounced Aishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, we will offer it to priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. All right, so the next holy convocation is the feast of Slakia, the Day of Atonement, which is the 10th day of the 7th month, and that is Tuesday, the 4th of October. You can find the Day of Atonement. Slakia, sir.
No, I was just saying to myself that should be next week.
Yeah, man.
Next week, Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah, man, next week.
Yeah, remember to say at sundown.
Gone. So it's Tuesday at sundown. You understand? And it's a 24-hour thing. You understand? So sundown to sundown. So it's Tuesday sundown to Wednesday sundown. You understand? You can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 27 to 32. Reminding Akim and Aquatim to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he's to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, we say I-Mariam, which means to stand. We turn and face the east. You're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew and then in English.
Abanawa.
Shabashamayim.
Shabashamayim. Kodash. Ayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malakwatka. Taba'a. Katazaka. Ayah. Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Ayah. Bashamayim. Atananawa. Akam. Khan. Yawam. Wasalakla now. Kawabwat now. Kasalak now. Kawabwat ya now. Wala'a. Tawaya now. Wanasayawa. Abab. Hawashai now. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Akam. Amalakwa. Wahala. Wahata Paharat. La'awalam. Amen. In English, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our debts,
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
And lead us not into
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory,
for thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory,
forever so be it.
forever.
Prayer for the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth and all things within.
Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh, in the name of
listen to us now,
listen to us
right now.
right.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction
The evils and curses
to the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets,
to the heathen that speak against thy prophet,
the teachers,
the teacher,
the princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priest,
the Israelite brothers and the school.
the Israelite brothers and school.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen,
The evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the heathen,
and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel,
and shake loose the treasure of Israel,
that refuse to give to the school.
and refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
Force the riches that enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites,
The evils and curses of
and the nations,
and the nation
and their drug dealers,
and their drug dealers,
the court system,
court system,
the prison system,
prison
Planned Parenthood,
system,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the government of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek,
the Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
skinheads,
Pasikometazi,
Pasikomatazi,
the gay movement,
gay movement,
the lesbian movement,
lesbian movement,
spies,
whites,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space programs,
NASA space program,
the Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street.
Wall Street,
Open up the internet and the airways,
open up the internet and the airways,
the cable access channels and the radio channels.
the cable access channels,
Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen
and bring swift destruction to all the heathen
that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words
that stand in the way are trying to broadcast the word
throughout the planet Earth.
to planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues,
All the plagues,
cause them to go to and fro
cause them to go to and fro
through the earth,
through the earth
and consume them.
and consume them.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer.
Let the plague shake the house of the earth.
Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel
Let your Yahweh shine like Gabriel
come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens
and punish all the heathens
that come up against us as we speak thy word.
that come up against us as we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that has done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world.
Cause it to be spread through the media to the whole world.
Cause them Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake.
In the name of Yahushua, thank you always, so be.
Thank you always. This is the prayer for the poor in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Basham Yahushua.
Basham Yahushua.
Babakosha.
Babakosha.
Nanawa.
Nathan Lanawa.
Akak.
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 Larapa'a.
Larapa'a.
Kalmakala.
Kalmakala.
Wakal Madawa.
Makal Madawa.
Akak.
Akak.
Lata'a.
Lata'a.
Amatazaraya.
Amatazaraya.
Akak.
Akak.
Amatayam.
Lahakwayam.
Amathiyam.
Amathiam.
Akak.
Akak.
Rakawa.
Arakawa.
Atamaala.
Atamala.
Lagarasha.
Lagarashan.
Basham Yahushua.
Basham Yahushua.
Uwalaman.
Tuwadama. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power.
Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits to cast them out in the name of Yahushua.
The power against unclean spirits to cast them out in the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. All right, this is the prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Basham Yahushua.
Basham Yahushua.
Barak
Barak Lana.
Wayasharala.
Wayasharala.
Waha.
Waha.
Wayatapariam.
Mayatsapariam.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa'a.
Rapa'a.
Magan.
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 Hagan.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana. The generals.
Captain.
The captains. The officers. The troopers.
The young men and the sisters.
The young men and the sisters.
Basham Yahushua.
Basham Yahushua. Tuwada Aman. All right, in English, what you have just said. Lord, in the name of Jesus, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Jesus, thank you, so be.
All right, so it means to turn. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, and Madium Shabbat. Madium. Barak. Yahweh Basham Yahushua Barakatah.
Yahweh Basham Yahushua Barakatam.
Yadamata Sar, which means to turn. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel, and Madium Shabbat. And Madium. Barak. Yahweh Shamar Alatam Basham Yahushua. Yadamata, class dismissed.
All right, so next week Tuesday we're gonna have atonement. We're going to atone for. You see this thing, my prime minister, we're gonna atone for our people, man. Here in Jamaica, especially. We're getting too pumping some of the Most High's people. Not doing anything for the Most High's people, but all they want to do is throw on punishment. One thing I know about a good parent doesn't only scold the child and provide guidance for the child.
God.
And you over the Most High, you're all over the Most High people is no good parent.
Right.
All right, with that being said, you can close the class and do the obituaries.
Thanks, sir. All right, remember to like the video, like the live, like the class, you understand? Subscribe to the channel, you understand? Follow us on all social media platforms. You understand? Share it around. You know what I mean? Share it to your personal Facebook page. If you have a WhatsApp account, you can also create a group, add your contacts to that group, and also share our classes and our videos in that group. You understand? And with that, we have a close out with some music. Shalom.
On 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived, they don't know how I did it. Got it out the mud, straight to glory, they don't know how I get it. Nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, up to solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got rigor soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They said you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. And it feel like Jeepers Creepers. Say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney swings. Coming like we coming, you can't even count. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till them do us part. If you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, fine then. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Oh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, you know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. U.P.K top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that eco line into a damn tank. I got chopper stash in the attic like they in Frank. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See him throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy, I'm gonna show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time